about the SAP kernel upgrade. SAP, the kernel upgrade or kernel patching here. So what is kernel? Kernels are OS level libraries. Kernels are OS level libraries. It will act as SAP kernels. It will act as a intermediate between the SAP as well as the your operating systems. Operating system. So the kernel is the backbone for the SAP systems. Any kernel, any version is the backbone for the SAP. Without kernel, your SAP system will not be started. Without kernel, your SAP system will not function properly. Without kernel, without kernel update or latest versions, your kernel system will face lot of issues and everything and slowness and everything. So because of the kernel, kernel means OS level libraries or folders, whatever it may be here, right? OS level libraries here. So in SAP, we have at operating system level in the three locations we have the kernels will be placed, right? So there are the three locations. If I talk about the file systems, so before we go for the kernel upgrade, first of all, you would like to know about the SAP file systems, right? What are the file systems and where the folders and locations are located here? SAP, so file systems here. So file systems means in SAP we have the suppose like that is a common directory USR SAP is the common directory common file system here. Under that you will get the SID. SID is like a NW1 or so there is a different naming convention. The SID will be created here. Under USR SAP some different naming conventions will be created in the systems here, right? So those will be created and so we can also see the file systems, right? Operating system level we can also see the file systems here under the USR SAP and SID. Either SID is the NW1 then NW1, either SID is the ECD then ECD is the file systems here, right? Under that under the SID we have again the folders are called the sys. Then after the sys, we have the so D instance number. Along with the sys, we have the D instance number. Then we have the ASCS instance number. We have the these three things will be three main folders will be there under the each SID. Under the each SID, you have the these folders are available here. These folders are available here. So first of all, let me start the systems. So due to systems got rebooted. So here, if you see here, if you go to the operating system level here, if you go to the operating system level under the USR SAP SID, right? So if you go to the this PC and see user SAP, then SID. We have the SID is there, right? Under the SID, we have the so sys D instance number and ASCS instance number. They are the three folders are there here, right? Three folders are there here, right? Under the sys again there are the multiple folders are called the sys exe. This is the kernel directory. Sys exe is the kernel directory here, right? Then sysexe, then sysprofile, then global directory. They are the again subfolders. Under the sys again, you have the subfolders here. If you see here under the sys here, so you have the subfolders here, right? Sysprofile, right? Then global directory, then exe directory, right? Global directory and exe directory here, right? We have the folders and files are there here. Folders and files are there here, right? So exe means executable directory, kernel directory. Here we have the system related kernel files are there. These all are the system related library files and kernel files, library files and kernel files. These are the system related library files and kernel files are there here. So if the files are one, suppose like start SAP, stop SAP, some events, system is running, up and running, work process, memory, Running when because of this kernel files, because of this library files here. Gateway is working because of this file. Gateway working because of OS level, NQ server, message server, gateway, work process, displace work. These all are working because of OS level. The respective kernel files are there here. That's why those are working in conditions, right? So then under the sys we have the exe, right? Then global directory. In the global directory we have the job locks and spool locks and some of the security settings are available here. In the global directory we have the job locks, then spool locks and security 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 settings. Some of the security settings, system internal access of keys and everything will be available here under the global directory, right? Exe kernel files here. Profile directory contains the profile directory. The profile directory contains here, profiles contains the profiles. How many types of profiles we have? So if you go to the sys profile, in the profile we have the, in the profile we have the default profile, instance profile, and we have the default profile, instance profile, and ASCS profile here, right? So default, all the default parameters are, we have seen this one, the default profile. So you have seen that default profile is available in the default profile is available in the, so we can see in the RG10, RG11, right? That is the one way to change the profiles and parameters in the, so that is the one way. And one more way, OS level, come to in this location, you can also add the parameters and everything. You can change it here. Operating system level also, you can change the parameters, right? So this is also one way. In case if you are unable to log in SAP level, you can come to the operating system level. You can change the dialog work process or BTC work process from where to where, what to what you want to change it. Then you can change the values. You can change the values. That values will be changed here. You can change the whatever the values you want to change it, you can change it here, right? So this is the parameter values and profile values in the system. So that is available in the sys profile directory. In the profile directory we have these profiles, right? In the global directory we have the job logs and spool logs are available. Exe executable directory here. Okay, so the next one, if you go to the here and d instance number, d instance number here. Here also we have the multiple profile, multiple folders are available. Here also we have the d instance number exe. That is also same as like every instance we have the one executable directory is there. Three locations total. Three locations the executable directories are available here, right? One is the sysexe, then instance exe, job logs, and here dexe, then log folder, then sect folder, then the work directory, work directory. So right, so these are the exe means same executable files only, logs, log directory. Sec means certificates related directory here. Sec in the strust ss42 certificate related directory here. All the certificates and PSCs will be here, and work directory. So work directory is the very important directory here. Work directory, in the work directory is the very important directory here. All the log files. So dispatcher is not responding. See here, work directory, sec directory, log folder, exe, data. These are all non-important. But main thing is the work directory is the very important log file. Here you can refer it here, how the dialog work process, how the dispatcher got restarted. So dispatcher, work process related log files here. See here, every process, work process name. So every, all the log files are started with the dev underscore dve underscore work process 0, work process 9, 11, gateway. So start as service process. All the log files are located under this directory. Under this directory, all the log files are located here. You see here. So if you open the, suppose like you want to check the dispatcher, how the dispatcher handling the logs and how everything, you can see it here. How the dispatcher handling the logs, are there any connection issues, timeout errors, any process ID, anything is happening in the systems, and all the information we can see it here. All the information we can see it in the system here. This is the, so logs, dispatcher logs. Suppose if you want to see the work process logs, so work directory is also called the troubleshooting directory. Work directory is also known as the troubleshooting directory here. If we want to do the any troubleshooting, if we want to fix the issues, anything, and if we want to check the work process logs or anything, then so this work directory will help to troubleshoot the issues. SAP level any issues by using this work directory logs, we can find out what's happening in the system and everything here. We can find out what's happening in the system and everything we can find out here. So work directory will give you the more information, how to fix the error, how to fix the errors. All the information will be recorded in the work directory logs here. Okay. This is the one of the important directory, work directory logs here. Right. So this is the work process 6, 7, 8, and so based upon all the information, it will be recorded in the work directory here. Right. So here, then sec directory, all the PSCs and everything. And also we have the log directory. So nothing in that alerts, traces, whatever the traces you open, alerts and traces will be there in the log directory. So then data folder, all the data files, statistics, stats files, and so remaining will be available under the this directory here and work directory here, right? So work directory related. Main is the work directory. So, and kernel directories are very important here. Work directory and kernel directories are very important here, right? Same as like ASCS. ASCS also instance in the ASCS also we have the work directory, but ASCS contains the message server, NQ server, those related files here. Then exe, data, normal related log files. So ASC, suppose if you want to check the message server log files, then go to the ASCS work directory. So there we can check the dev underscore there one we can check the all the information and everything. Just give me a minute. Yeah, sorry guys. So here, suppose the message server, NQ server related log files, anything, then dev underscore ms. Any log file will starts with the DVE underscore message server, NQ server log files like that. It will start it here. So each and every action item of the work process will be recorded into the log files here, right? So here also you have the ASCS, also you have the EXE, right? And also you have the D instance number, also you have the EXE. Then we have the sys also, we have the exe. So total three locations your exe kernel files are exist here, right? So the logs and all everything, if any error logs in the system, you can go to the here, you can check it out here, right? So you can check from the here, you can check it out all the log files and everything. We can validate it here, right? So now suppose here you want to know, you want to check some more details about the systems, and you want to check the suppose any error log file or any alerts. So then this is the main directory, work directory. Work directory is the very important directory. All the information and everything will be recorded in this work directory, all the information. So each and every action item, dialog or processor, gateway, spool, dispatcher, anything, it will be recorded into the work directory. That's why we will call it as the OS level log files. OS level, where can we check the log files means work directory. Here you will get the all the information what's happening in the system. Why? Because SAP level we can find out ST22, SM21. So those things we can find out. But system is not starting up. Then how can you log into the SAP first of all, right? So work directory logs will be helpful to investigate the root cause and everything here, right? So that is the main OS level log directory. So sometimes here the executable files are main important for the SAP. Executable files are the main important files for the SAP systems here. Sometimes we may have to every 3 months or every 6 months or every year once maximum, we may have to update the kernel files from one version to another version. We have to update it here. So in that case, how to update the kernels here? Why? Because this is one of the downtime activity here. We may have to restart the SAP systems here. We may have to restart the SAP systems here. We have to stop the SAP system. We need to update the kernels. Why? Because this is not the SAP level activity. This is one of the OS level activity we have to perform in our systems here. Then how to perform the kernel upgrade? To perform the kernel upgrade, first of all, first we need to check to perform the kernel upgrade in our SAP systems here. We need to check the current version of kernel, we need to check it out. Current version of the kernel, we need to check it out here, right? So so kernel. So first we need to check the current version of the kernel, current version of kernel. So two ways we can check OS level. So displace work command, we can execute it, or then we can also at the SAP level, we can go to the SM51. Then the release information, we can check it out. Release information, we can check it out here, right? If we go to the SAP level, then suppose if you take the one of the system here, so then you can go to the log into the system. Not sure, people are using multiple things they are doing in the systems. It's causing the locking of the basis user and other users and everything. So if you go to the SM51, so transaction code, there we can see the release note. Here we can find out the what is the current kernel version in the system. 753, the 1400, 753 release, and the patch level is the 1400 is the patch level here. 753, the patch level 1400 is the version here. Right? So we want to update this kernel from one version to another version here. How to do that one? So any system kernel is the very important here. Any system, the kernels are very important here, right? If we go to the SM51 here, then we can see the release note. Then 753 1400 is the patch level here, right? So this one we got it here. How we can got the kernel, right? Otherwise, operating system level. So we can execute the operating system level. We can execute the command operating system level. We can execute the command is called the displace work. In the displace work, we will come to know all the information. In the displace work, we will come to know all the information like what is the current kernel, what is the latest kernel, what is the available. So what is the current kernel? You will get the all the information here in the displace work. So for this one, you need to go to the command prompt mode. So just type the displace work here. This is also will give you the information what is the current kernel version here, right? So here 753, then 1400 is the patch level here, right? So we have the 753, 1400 is the patch level of the kernels here. So now what we have to do in our system, so first of all, find out the current kernel version and everything. Then check the latest kernel release or patch level in service marketplace. Either kernel we can update it, kernel patch we can update it, or so with then otherwise what we can do, we can only update the patch levels. Patch level we can update it here, which means we can update the release. If you do the 753 to the higher version, then that is called the kernel release update. Only patch level if you update it here, that is we will call it as the kernel patch level update here. Kernel patch level update here, right? So here we can go to the service marketplace here. The service marketplace with S user ID we can log in. From there we can check the latest versions of the SAP and everything. We can check it out here. The latest versions we can check it out in the systems here, right? So that is what we can check it out here. So current kernel version we know that is called the 753 and everything. The latest version also we can find out here. The latest version also, so we can find out the latest kernel. Kernel means during the installation time we download, right? That we will call it as the kernels here. That we will call it as the kernels here, right? So that we have downloaded now, right? That we have downloaded now here. Not downloaded. We are checking for the latest kernels in the system now here. Go to the service marketplace here. So we have to use the S user ID and password. We can log into the SAP S user ID and password. No valid session. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, so most of the time question was asked to me like in interviews. So how to check log files? So on application level we can check in SM21, and on OS level we can check means tell these locations, right?
Yeah, work directory location.
Okay.
Work directory, we can find out the all the information, what is happening and all the information like each work process related things, all the information we can find out in the work directory. So SAP level, sometimes we may not log in, but operating system level, so we may face the lot of things we can get it out. A lot of things we can get it out, and so we can find out by checking the logs one by one, one by one. If you start investigating, we will find out all the details. So once you log into the service marketplace, so then here you can go to the software downloads. Why? Because we need to download the kernel files from the marketplace only here, right? Just go to the service marketplace here, support pack and patches. Why? Because patches you are downloading, then go for the K for kernel kernel 64-bit. So then here you need to check the what is the current 753. You are in the 753. So what is the database? What is the version Windows? So then 753, what is the latest which is available here? Here 1400 only. 1400 only you are available. We already in the 753, the 400, 1400 is the patch level. So, and also we can also go to the 754. If we go for the 754, that is called the release upgrade. Release upgrade. So only patch if you update, that is a patch upgrade. If you are updating the entire release, then that is we will call it as the release upgrade here. Just click on the SAP exe. Then here we need to download the two files from the SAP. Check the latest kernel and download the SAP exe and SAP exe DB dependent files from service marketplace and move the move the files to move the files to application server level. We have to move the files to the application server files here, right? So you have downloaded, you are downloading the files here. It is getting downloaded. See, SAP exe is getting downloaded. So here you need to check the one is the DB independent, second one is the DB dependent files. DB dependent files also you need to download it here. One is the DB dependent, second one is the DB independent. So DB dependent is like a SAP exe DB. DB independent like a it's kind of operating system level. So that we have downloaded here. Two files mainly we have to download SAP exe, SAP exe DB here. So one more important thing here, kernel upgrade or there is a depend upon the your operating systems. If you go to the content info or release note of the SAP systems, there is a dependency, means your operating system version and everything here, kernel. So your operating system is not supporting, then you cannot update it here. See here, what is the, so which SAP systems it will support it here and which operating systems it will support it here, and you have the information, right? In the S version 740, SAP version 740, 750, 752, 760, these are the SAP systems you can update the this kernel 7 SAP exe, then you can update it here 754 and patch level 400 here. So currently we have here 753 1402. What we are doing here, kernel we are updating from 753 and 1400 patch level to then 754 the 400 patch level we are updating source and target. That is what we are going to do now. So based on that, we have downloaded the respective files we have downloaded here. Then so we will also make sure you need to read the release note also here, release information note also. It will give you the clear information, what is the database it will support it here, what are the operating systems this will support it here. So based on that, we can plan the our SAP systems here. Otherwise, if you wrongly do downloaded the kernel, then sometimes system may not start it. Suppose you 753, 754, it will support. If you go to the 777, then if you see the release note of the 777 here, so here 777 you see the SAP version should be 753, 754, 777 here. But our SAP version is SAP basis 750 only. Then this will not support. Even though if you update the kernel, then what will happen? Your SAP system will not be started due to the compatibility levels. So there is a compatibility level. SAP basis and SAP underscore basis component version 750. This is the 753, 54, 777, right? So if you see the our SAP systems here, if you see our SAP systems here, our SAP system version 750 only. 750 only. This is 750 only. Then definitely, so 750 related kernel version we have to update it here. So if you update this one, then we may face the issues. If you see this one 754, then we have the 750 is there. So this 754, the patch level 400 will support to the our SAP version. So if you update this kernel, our SAP system will start. If you update the wrong kernel, our SAP system it won't start it here. That is the one of the important thing we should remember here. Then once you download these things here, move the files to the operating OS, move the files to the, once you download it, move the files to the OS level, application server level, OS level. We can move to the application server level files here. Suppose here SAP softwares. Then here we have the kernel. So kernel, you can move to the here kernel files here, right? So then SAP exe, SAP exedb here, kernel files here. Move the files to the application server level. Then so extract the, you have to extract it, extract kernel files using SAP car command. Once you extract it, then stop the SAP system for doing stop SAP for kernel upgrade. Only SAP stop it here. Then so if you want to take the backup, you can take backup of existing kernel. In case of something wrong, we can override the existing kernel files, existing kernel, right? Then what we can do, we can replace the new kernel which you replace the new kernel onto into the existing exe directory here, that is called the sys exe directory. You can replace it just to overriding. So directory you can do overriding here. Once you done it here overriding, then start the SAP system and perform the health checks. Perform the health checks here. Perform the health checks. Okay. Perform the health checks here. Right now we move to the here. Then we can extract the kernel files. So SAP car -xdf, then SAP exe underscore 400. Then first to SAP exe we have to extract it here.
Sir, hello.
Yes, please.
Hello. Sir, here, do we need, like, we need to go to the path, right, sir? Here we are in sys path only, sir.
No, not in this path. Outside of the folder we are extracting. Then later when we stop SAP, then that time we can override it. These all are
Okay,
the
sir.
kernel files. So you need to extract the new kernels which you placed in the kernel 754. The new kernels which you downloaded, you need to do the extraction. Using the SAP car command, you need to do the extraction here. That is what you are
Yes.
doing now. Very simple concept actually. We need to download the two files. Two latest kernel files we have to download from the service marketplace. 753 to our patch level or release upgrade, anything fine. So, but you need to extract it and keep it ready. If the SAP system is properly working mean because of this kernel files at operating system level. If the kernels are not in good enough, so then definitely we may face the multiple issues here. Because of the kernel only we can see, right? SAP exe done. Let me do the SAP exe DB also. GB also. This is only DB related files here. Okay, that is also done. So now what I'm going to do now? So as per the plan, so we have checked the current kernel version and latest kernel version, downloaded and move and extracted. Now stop the SAP. Stop SAP here. We need to stop the SAP system. Suppose like we are going to do with the NW1 system or ECD system. Suppose we want to do the ECD, then stop the ECD system here. Right? You are just stopping the ECD system here. So when you stop the ECD system, why? Because when the system is on, you cannot do the kernel upgrade. Why? Because it's a backbone. So system should be stopped status here. Then all the process will be stopped status. Once all the process are stopped status, then only we can do this activity here. Then only we can perform the activity here. Right? See here it is stopped here. So ECD is stopped status here. So now what we are going to do now, once the ECD is stopped status here, let me stop the services in the task manager. There is a ECD services. So done. This is a new kernel. Okay. Copy the new kernel. Accept these two files. Copy the new kernel. Go to the your existing kernel, USR, SAP, SID, sys, exe, then UC Unicode, NTADM. Then here we have to replace it here. In this page, we have to replace it here, which means so latest kernels you are just replacing it on the shit. I did the skipping, not the skip. Replacing it on the existing kernel folder, existing kernel replace means the latest version will come into the picture here, right? Only new kernels we have to replace it here. Done. Okay, so it's replaced. So date also changed. The file versions also will change it here. You have replaced on the sysexe here. So copy paste. Okay, Windows right, copy paste. Linux we have to use the cp command. Then start the SAP services here. Then after starting, we need to verify. Sometimes what happens, it won't start because of so kernel, you wrong version of the kernel, you downloaded something like that you have. So it will not be started here, right? So this may face the issues here. So now you see it is starting. You are starting the services. So it is done. So now go to the MMC. MMC, then start the SAP here. That's it. Kernel upgrade is done. Copy and replace. That's it. So kernel upgrade is done now. So now what we are going to do now, we are just starting the SAP after the kernel upgrade. Okay, simple steps. So only check the current kernel version, download the latest kernel version, then extract it, stop the SAP, replace it. That's it. We have to do it here. So now start the ECD system here. So starting the ECD. So okay. So yes, is started. Then you are starting the application server here. See executable copy it is doing. Sorry, you are only doing the SAP sysexe. We are only performing in the sysexe. Replace the new kernel files into the exe directory here. But what about the other directories? We have the other directories also available, right? Means here SAP CPE utility program will copy the binaries from sysexe, that is called the global exe. Sysexe normally we will call it as the global exe to then local exe. Local exe means d instance number exe, and so then ass exe it will copy the files here. So which is the utility program means this is the commonly frequently asked question, SAP CPE utility program here, right? So it is starting now it is starting. So now once it is fully started here, once it's fully started here, here work process are not coming here. So once it is fully started, then log into the systems, log into the ECD system here. So it is connecting. Let's see. Sometimes what happen due to the issue system, it won't start. It won't start it here. It won't start. So still it is starting mode only. You see here, it is starting mode only here. Dispatcher is starting mode here. Sometimes dispatcher will go down status here. See 754 patch level 400 applied here. 754 patch level 400 applied here. Right. So it's applied and it is green status here. So now we can go back and check the our state system. Yes, system is up here. Then we can log into the system. We can log into the system here. So initially see here how it is compiling all the programs and binaries because of the new kernel, right? So it is compiling here. So what will happen? Why we have to update the new kernel means as part of the way bug fixes and these things, new bug fixes and everything will be fixed here. And the latest functionalities and enhancements will come at operating system level. So these kernels. So that is the reason. See, the still programs are compiling here. So here we can check we can validate the system whether the new kernel is replaced or not. We can validate it here. So just click on the release notes. So here you can see the 754 and 400 is the patch level here. 754, 400 is the patch level here, right? So which means previously 753, 1400, now 753. So then we can perform the system health checks after the kernel upgrade. Are there any dumps in the system? So any dumps in the system, we can check it out here. And also we can check are there any locks in the system in SM21 locks, we can check it out here. So like that, we can check all the things in the system. We can check it out here. So are there any dumps, system time zone and everything? We can cross check it out all the things here. So nothing is there. So but there is a updates are deleted something today, right? Updates are deleted here. So like that we can check all the information in the systems here, right? So here the kernel 753 to 754. So the current kernel version, it's very simple steps here. The mainly thing is the target version which you are going 754, and that is depends upon your SAP operating system as well as your SAP kernel version, SAP basis version. You need to check both. Then you need to stop the SAP system, replace the new kernel files into the existing exe directories. You have the existing exe directories. You need to do the replace. You need to do the replace here. Just replacement we have to do that one. That is what we have to do it as part of the kernel upgrade. Okay, so it's very simple. Just to go to the folders. But if you do it one folder ccexe, it will be automatically updated to the instance exe and everything because of your SAP CPU utility program. It will be updated here. SAP CPU utility program, that will be updated here. This will be updated to the latest versions, right? This what will happen in the systems. Okay, this is the kernel upgrade. Kernels are very important. OS level binaries. Kernels are like a OS level binaries that will help to system to function properly. If the kernels are not working, not functioning properly, system may go down and multiple issues, the multiple things will happen in the systems. So kernels are very, very, very important things here. Okay.
Sir, suppose like so additional server is not needed, right, sir? Once applied to central instance.
Yeah, once applied to the global exe directory, you have the number of application servers that will be automatically applied to the application servers as well. You no need to manually do it for the other application servers. Only sometimes, especially for Windows based systems, sometimes we may have to manually do that one. But systems are perfectly working. Then that time you no need to, if you have the 20 application servers also, if you do it in the CCXE, automatically it will be updated to the remaining files also, it will be updated. You no need to do.
Okay. Is it possible to do, so that same in Linux systems? Sir?
The Linux systems not possible. We have to install on the Linux system and we have to install the SAP on the Linux system. We have to do it. Okay, I will do it when we have the Linux system is ready. That time I will do it.
Yes.
So again, the kernel upgrade, the reverse also possible. Reverse means the downgrade also possible. So now you have upgraded. We have the old version also available. Then again, you can extract the old version. Then you can replace it on the kernel files. Again, kernel version will be back to the previous status. Means we can also upgrade. We can also downgrade also. Downgrade means we can also change the status to the previous status. That is also possible. Okay, that is what we have to do that part.
That means our existing taking backup same files we can
Revert back.
revert back, sir.
Okay, okay guys. So any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, so tomorrow we will discuss about the note implementations, plugins, add-ons. So those things we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. Thank you guys.
Sir, small doubt, sir. Starting, you're saying system work dev underscore desk work directory. Whenever the system is down, all the work directories you need to check, sir. I mean, dev underscore disk.
Right. All the log files in the work directory we need to cross check one by one, one by one.
Okay.